to play Overwatch as we sit there and do the podcast. So this will be interesting. And what's really cool about this is we can actually sit here and enjoy the game and pretty much bullshit about multiple things. So this is going to be really interesting. Hopefully this doesn't take away from our gameplay here.
Yes, only leave it so they can only hear us.
No.
It's the same game though.
No, but I want them to be able to see us.
No, they will.
If we accept his invite?
Yeah, it's the same game.
Okay.
If you switch games, that's when it's gonna cut it off.
Okay. I can do this.
So we're back, guys.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Hold on. We're still on air. Currently, you're just hearing us because we're actually going to accept an invite to play. All right, we're back on air. All right. What is up, everyone? So the Cavs have reached. I accepted. Dingleberry.
Hold on again, guys. We're having some technical difficulties.
Hi, Gavin.
Hi, Cameron.
See on microphone.
Yes, he does, and he is on the Dino Duo podcast as we speak.
Hello.
So, how do you feel about the Cavs forcing Game 7, Cam?
I don't.
He doesn't care. How do you feel, third guy?
I mean, I think it's nuts how the Golden State was. They were like totally beating them by. How many games did they win before the Cavs just took like the last 2 wins?
They were up 3-1.
Yeah, like they were dominating,
series,
and then
yes.
all of a sudden they just came out of nowhere.
It is
So
really.
actually, it's like anyone's game. Like at first, I thought it was Golden State was gonna win it, and now starting to think the other way around.
Yeah, I think the Cavs are going to end up taking the series, which is really good to hear. Carson Wentz locked himself in a bathroom.
That's awesome.
Yes, that is some NFL news right there.
What the fuck?
He apparently was getting ridiculed by his teammates, and he locked himself in a bathroom.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I think we're all in the same boat on that.
I don't know.
That was pretty funny. Fletcher Cox ended up making $119 million for being a defensive end. $63 million is guaranteed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. We also have.
We're gonna play the game.
I will never make $63 million in our life all put together.
Exactly. I don't. Hopefully, I do when I become a big football coach one day, but that's not the point here.
Right, Gavin.
I'll probably be doing this for the rest of my life, doing podcasts and stuff and playing Overwatch with my buddy Cam. So.
You're like 90 years old playing Overwatch.
Just, oh god, I don't know what to do.
PS9 is out, but I still got my PS4. Gavin, get on Overwatch.
Get on Overwatch so we can play some more.
These guys are crazy.
So we actually
Got some 2 viewers watching. That's awesome.
we shouldn't tell the viewers how many viewers we got watching.
It pops up.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty.
they see it.
That's pretty damn sweet, actually. So, but
Dude doesn't even know how the podcast works.
well, no, this is the first time we're actually streaming from the PS4. They actually just updated the PS4 where you can actually play the game, and it has gameplay and us in the corner of the screen where you can watch us. So it's actually
that's cool.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. We're not sitting in front of a computer screen. So actually, I like this now. So now I can sit here and have fun, play video games and stuff like that. We just need a fucking game.
Speaking of video games, how about E3 this week?
Yeah, E3 was very intense. Did you hear anything about that, third guy?
It was.
No, I didn't.
There was a
Didn't do my
lot.
research.
You're supposed to do your research, but E3 had a bunch of.
I've done so much research.
Well, good thing we got my buddy Cam on the line here, because we could talk about it. I think that if you had to if you had to pick a company that took over, who do you think won the war for like the best showing?
Just the best showing in general, or like Microsoft and Sony and like Nintendo? Just like the best hands down, or
Okay, we can
between,
go
the
both.
major
We'll go best
companies.
hands down and best company, like gaming company.
Well, for me, I really like the stuff that Bethesda had to show because I like, you know, Skyrim getting remastered, you know, their newer game, what's it called, Dishonored 2 coming out, all the DLC for Fallout, you know, all that good stuff that was coming out. The re-announcement of Prey, it all looked really cool, and I'm just really amped up about the Skyrim remaster.
Actually, I've seen gameplay and it looks amazing, and I can't wait for the remastered.
Yeah, there's just so much to do in it.
And get ready to move.
Yeah, I'm really pumped about that. Plus,
But
they also had Overwatch.
give it
Go ahead.
Thank you.
sorry. Between Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, Nintendo, they just, I don't even know why they showed up. They had their biggest game they had to show off was Zelda. While that looks really good and, you know, fun, I'm not buying like their newest console to play Zelda. Sorry to say.
No.
And to just put it down between Microsoft and Sony. Microsoft did a really good showing this year compared to last year when they, you know, might as well have not even showed up because, well, I shouldn't say that, but they were not nearly as strong as Sony last year.
No.
And this year, it was coming down to like, if I could give it a word, it was kind of coming down to the wire. But between the two, I would say Sony just beat them out by a little bit because Microsoft had a lot of good games to show and tons of new hardware between, you know, the One S, the Scorpio, and all that.
Yes.
They also had games like Scalebound and man, I cannot think of any of the games they had to show, but they had plenty to show. But Sony, they put me right into a good mood as soon as they announced God of War, the newer one coming out.
Yes.
The reaction of the crowd as soon as they saw Kratos comes out of the shadows, dude, that trailer, it's like Dad of War. It looks so much fun.
It does, and I actually agree. When you showed me the gameplay for it at work, that was pretty freaking intense. That was awesome. In my opinion, I agree with you 100% on everything you said. Actually, I think Bethesda did a great job. Out of all the actual consoles, Sony did the best, and that.
Oh yeah, Death Stranding. Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, with Sony throwing a blank check at Kojima, it's probably one of the best decisions they could have made because, you know, even if the game does terrible, so many people are going to buy, and that's if the game does terrible, which we all pretty much know it won't. I don't think Kojima has made a bad game.
That and the fact that it has Norman Reedus said it,
and he's just a good actor. Putting him in a game is just, I take away from it. Quite frankly, I really don't know anybody is, but he recently released a statement saying that it's going to be some kind of action adventure game with something that that'll flip the script on everybody. So if I had to take a guess on what that would be, probably some kind of horror element, psychological horror, something like that. Because I mean that's all I could really get from the trailer.
Yeah, it looked very creepy by the trailer because you had the baby's hands. That was pretty interesting.
The handprints everywhere, the dog tags with the equations all over the place. It was just bizarre for a word.
It was really bizarre, and honestly, I think the way it is going to be set up.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Kojima. I don't know what the hell goes on in his brain, but I mean,
he's a genius.
I mean, if you've ever played a Metal Gear Solid game, yeah, he's a lunatic genius. Have you ever played a Metal Gear Solid game, Gavin?
Yes, I have. I've played all of them but 5.
Oh, the 5 is my favorite. A lot of people probably won't agree with that, but I just love the open world. An open world is one of the best things in a game for me. I just love open world games. Skyrim is the game that first got me really into all those, and just putting the Metal Gear franchise into an open world was such a great idea, especially with the way they did it. It was just all open sandbox.
Yeah,
it was a great game.
See,
all the intrigue of the series. It's all so weird, but just so interesting, and it all still makes sense if you follow it well enough.
Fuck you, Hanzo. Yes, I agree 100%. I've never played the fifth one. I hear from everyone else, they're like, don't even buy it, it's not worth it type deal. Personally, I would like to try to play it, because I would kind of like to finish the series
the fifth one?
Yeah, the fifth one.
I thought the fifth one was really good, like, critically. I've seen nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, some people I've talked to, they're like, you might as well just not play because it's not nearly, it's just, there's so many plot holes and it's not worth it. And I'm like, I don't know.
If not, okay, even if there is plot holes, which I personally don't think there was just a little bit of, like, it was during the time where Kojima and Kojima and Konami were, you know, starting to split up. So you could kind of tell that based on the game, because the missions start getting repetitive and stuff like that. But the story they still gave you is something that I would still pay $60 for. But aside from the story, the open world and having the option to do anything you want, it is the greatest stealth game ever invented, just hands down. There's no other way to say it, because you'd have to play it to understand. You can do everything. You can walk into an outpost and start knocking out guards, and then Fulton them out on this little hot air balloon, take them back to a base that you slowly build up to give you better equipment to help you take out more guards to help you build up your base, all while progressing in the story. And you could upgrade that little hot air balloon to not just take guards, but take tanks, cargo freights, little mounted guns. It was a great game. It was a fucking great game, Gavin. I'll have to give it to you sometime. I have it on disc. I'll have to let you borrow it.
Definitely, I would definitely like to play it because it seems sweet. Another thing that they talked about at E3 is your favorite game, The Division. Mm-hmm. You can now go underground. How do you feel about that there, guy?
I mean, they already had like a couple of missions where you could go underground, but is it like going to be even deeper underground?
It's underground. The whole city is underground.
It's probably like an open world expansion to be underground.
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
So there's going to be a lot more to explore.
Yes.
So.
Well, I mean, there's a lot more to explore in a world. Oh my God, a level 100 man! Look at him. Yeah, his player card's decked out.
I want that.
I want that too. It's just more to explore in a dead world at this point. With, you know, I know that you know that I never really liked The Division. I think the game is rather drab and boring.
You have to play with friends though. You can't play by yourself. That's when it gets boring.
See, a game you can't. That's no reason to say a game is good though. A game you should be able to enjoy by yourself and have more fun with friends. Not being able to play without friends should not take away from the fun of the game. Like Overwatch, I could play this game by myself and have fun, but I have more fun playing with my friend. You know, you have more fun playing with a friend with any game. It's just a matter of I still have fun playing it by myself, and if a game is no fun for you by yourself, then why are you playing it?
Exactly. I actually kind of agree, and actually that's why I quit playing The Division myself. It's mainly because of the fact that I got too far behind. Like, my buddy Sean ended up getting to level 30 when I was stuck at level 21 because I didn't play the game as much. So he got to level 30, so like it was kind of pointless because he couldn't do any of the missions I could. He was like, I can help you with the ones, but it wouldn't be fair, and plus it'd make my opponent seem harder for my level, so that it wouldn't work out for me in the long run anyway. So I quit playing it.
It's not even balancing issues. It's just a matter of you have to stay on the same level with your friends, otherwise you might as well not even bother.
Right.
You have to constantly keep up, and that's no fun for anybody, especially in a game that can barely hold its own in a single player mode. It's no fun by yourself, no fun at all. And if you don't keep up with your friends because you're a little bit busier than they are, just for any reason, you go on vacation, something, you're gonna get brutally punished for that because you won't be able to keep up with them.
Exactly. I also think that you know, Battlefield 1 looks pretty good.
Battlefield 1 does look pretty good.
Um,
EA did not have much to show this year though.
no,
Between
they did
Battlefield 1, their regular sports games, and I mean that was pretty much it. Titanfall 2.
Yeah, and I'm not a big
But
fan
I mean,
of...
the first Titanfall was fun, but not a lot of content to it. You got like you ran out of things to do pretty fast. Gavin, I think I just got play of the game, but not doing that. I got a triple kill. I mean, but yeah, but
That is pretty nice.
Titanfall.
But I honestly think that
I mean, the way
game, like,
Titanfall 2
just-
looks right now, it's
Yeah.
looking like it's gonna, you know, do good because it's looking like they're starting to expand on that single-player campaign that the first one didn't really have. They've announced that they're gonna have free maps and, you know, any like free stuff that free DLC support like Overwatch does, which is good for any game. It helps your audience. It doesn't split your audience as much. Having payable DLC on a multiplayer game, it usually just means death to the community. And if it's free, it's usually the best option. It just
free
means more
is
people
always
will
great.
play your game, which means, well, yeah, free is. If I'm playing Overwatch with you, and they announce 3 new DLC characters you have to pay $10 for, and I don't feel like spending $10 on the free DLC on the new deal. And if they keep adding maps and characters and guns and whatever else they could add in the game like that, and I'm not buying any of it, then it just kind of splits you and me at this point of you get all this cool stuff and I'm stuck with the base game.
Exactly. That's why,
And the
like,
more DLC you release, the more you split it, because the less and less people are going to buy it. Because I mean, most of the time the game's life cycle doesn't go beyond 2 or 3 weeks.
well, I just got screwed out of my ultimate. But yes, I agree. That's why, like, for example, sports games. I think it's ridiculous that they come out with a new game every year. Like for Madden, it's ridiculous. Just come out with a DLC for the people that don't have like the money to go get the new game, so they have the updated rosters and that be that. FIFA is a little different because it's not just like, you know, you're changing 32 teams around. You're also changing all the countries around, and you have to add like there's just too much with that to deal with.
Gavin, no, Gavin, they're all the same. I could play FIFA 2003 and FIFA 2016, and it would feel like almost the exact same game.
I could debate you on that, but it's okay. But I mean, I get where you're coming from.
I'm sure someone who plays Madden often could debate me on me saying that about Madden, but there's just not. While there is some minor changes there, it's not enough to offer a $60 game price
No.
for something that is just minimal. It probably took them a year of work, if anything, like if that. It's just a cash grab that EA is fucking notorious for. EA is just full of a bunch of money hogs. They have Battlefield and Titanfall, which is fairly new, is honestly 2 of their only like successful companies. Not even successful, just not cash grabby companies. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that the fact that I'm excited for FIFA just because I'm a big FIFA fan. That's just me.
Yeah.
But like mainly, I'm more excited about the Sony games that are coming out. That's what I'm pumped.
Oh yeah, so Sony blew me away this year. Like, I would expect nothing less from them based on their conference last year and how well that went. I would hope they would outdo themselves, you know, and they did just that. But the games that they presented, I really don't think too many people saw the God of War coming, especially taking place in Norse mythology with a sun and all that. It was very different than God. It really changes the I don't know how to word this. Just the flow of God of War, because you've always just been this mass murdering demigod who's just killing everything in his path. and now you have this son who's, you know, who you have to teach. You can't just murder things in front of him, even though he kind of doesn't demo, but you have to. They released a statement saying that it's not just a story of how Kratos is teaching his son how to become a bit more like a demigod. It's his son teaching Kratos how to be more human, which is not only poetic, but I just want to see that in a game. That sounds fucking fantastic.
It does sound great. And honestly, like you said, whenever they said when they showed Kratos, everyone like shit their pants. They were pumped.
They did.
They were ready. They were ready for the new. They were ready for it. And
Yeah.
honestly, I can't wait to play it myself. And it's kind of set up like The Last of Us is in a way as well.
It is.
You have-
It's like The Last of Us meets God of War, which I think is a great idea. It's like they took like one of the creative directors from Naughty Dog, you know, the people who made The Last of Us, because they work with Sony, because you know every time they make a Naughty Dog game, it's a Sony exclusive. It's like they took at least pointers. They took something from Naughty Dog, whether it's an individual or a team, some kind of something, and they implemented it into their game that would allow them to just make it that much better. To not just have that great combat that God of War has always given, but just fucking have a great story to go with it, which would be fantastic for a God of War game.
I honestly can't wait to play these games. They're going to be very intense.
Yeah. But to not just talk about Sony, Microsoft's game so far, I think my favorite Microsoft game that I've seen is probably Scalebound. I don't know if you've seen it. You kind of play this guy who has like this weird ass like lizard arm, and you control this big old dragon in this open world, and you get custom gear for both yourself, and you can customize your dragon. It has a multiplayer where like you can play with your friends who also have their own custom dragons and fight these giant monsters, and it just looks like a load of fun.
Yeah, it does. Like I didn't see anything on it, but the way you described that made it sound like a lot of fun.
And one thing I think is really worth a mention, Final Fantasy 15 is finally coming out this year. I don't know if you've been keeping up with that, but that game is due for a release date. It has been so long since that game was announced.
I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasies, but Kingdom Hearts I definitely would place with Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is a pretty good game. They haven't had a game in a while either.
No, I thought they were going to be making a new one for the new gen consoles, but they have not yet. So.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was in development. They just don't want to say anything about it yet, because if they announce it too early, like the people who are making Final Fantasy 15 did, then your fans start to get too irritated, especially when the game starts getting delayed and things like that.
Yeah, I agree.
There it is.
Play the game. See,
Yep,
Kelty
that's
1, 2,
exactly
3.
what I thought it would be.
Helden sterben nicht.
Watch this. These three people just run at me, and none of them shoot me.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Game recognized game.
That's right. But I don't know why, but a lot of people said that E3 this year was going to be dead, and that there's not going to be too much to announce and everything like that. This is one of the best E3s there's been in a while. It's been really, exciting. People who have, I know of a lot of people who have told me that, hey, I've never watched E3 before, been paid too much attention to it, but this year I've just been, all amped up about watching it, because it's just, people know that there's going to be so many good games coming out, and games that they haven't even heard of, like, oh, man.
The third guy over here, my brother, is just sitting here playing around with this camera thing. He's having a blast. Because, it's, transparent.
I honestly forgot he was there.
He's been so quiet the whole time. He knows a little bit more about sports.
He doesn't know what to
It's
talk
hard for
about.
me to jump in the conversation when I haven't done my research, so.
Yeah. It's better than him going, gay
Just
video
agreeing with
games.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just agreeing with everything.
Well, what kind of video games do you like to play, Zach?
I mean, FIFA, Madden, NBA. I usually like the sports, and then I used to play Call of Duty all the time, and then it just got. It just turned into like a kid's game, in my opinion. Like, it went from-
Okay. I think we could talk about Infinite Warfare then. Infinite Warfare is worth a mention.
Victory will
Yes.
People who are talking about Infinite Warfare, who have played the demo and stuff like that at E3, they all seem fairly impressed by it, which is kind of surprising based on the dislike war that went on with their announcement trailer. But
Yes.
I mean, only time will tell if it's a good game. But right now, it's not blowing me away either. It just looks like Call of Duty is just trying too hard to beat every other first-person shooter that's out there. You know, Titanfall, Halo.
They need to do what Battlefield's doing and go back to not exactly modern warfare, but like they're even going back. Like Battlefield 1's literally going to be about World War One, which that actually seems really cool. Like even if they just put it back to modern.
You know
day.
the price tag on Infinite Warfare to get both the remaster of Modern Warfare and Infinite Warfare, which you have to get both. You cannot get them separate. Is like $120.
Yeah, that's not. You're paying for two games, literally. It's just
Basically, I think I can't remember if it's like 120 or 100, but from what I've heard, it is about that. Which, I mean, Infinity Ward is just doing it to save their asses at this point because they're gonna get their asses handed to them with this game. They needed to bump up the price for anybody who's just buying it to get that Modern Warfare remaster. So they're just spending an obscene amount of money on it so that they can make more of a Oh, I killed Hanzo right before he let off his ultimate.
that was
Wow, he
pretty
did,
sweet.
but
I also find it really interesting that I'm going to change the subject here, but the whole Steph Curry throwing his mouthpiece and hitting someone in the face with it.
Really? Who do you hit?
He ended up hitting some.
I don't know nothing about that.
It was Game 6 in Cleveland. He got pissed off because there was a call that didn't get called his way, and he was mad about it. So he got all mad, took his mouthpiece out, and just gunned it at the fans because he was pissed off. It was kind of funny. He actually received a $25,000 fine for
Wow.
Good, fuck him.
it. Yeah,
I had not heard about that.
We actually talked about it a lot at work, but I mean, there's other things that we talk about at work as well. So honestly, it's probably one of those. It's gonna be one of those situations where it doesn't affect the game tomorrow night. I kind of hope the Cavs win
it's
because I
just
would like
kind
to
of
see the
news.
Cavs get a championship. Who would you like to pick over here?
I think
this
lots
year?
of people would, except for anybody who is like a Golden State fan. I think anybody who is not a Golden State fan just kind of wants the Cavs to win.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think over there?
Like you don't necessarily have to be a Cavs fan. You just kind of, unless you're a Golden State fan, you just want the Cavs to win. You know what I mean? Because I don't care much about basketball, but I mean everybody else wants the Cavs to win, so fuck it, I want the Cavs to win.
How do you feel, third guy?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of LeBron, so I'm actually hoping Golden State will win.
Oh,
Green across
Yeah.
the board. And
You know.
ready for action.
Oh
State of
well,
Ohio
okay,
pissed
yes,
at
I'm
you.
corrected then.
I don't care.
the state of
Yeah,
Ohio
like-
will hate you.
I don't care about the state of Ohio.
I really don't.
But I think that is all we have for the show today.
I think so.
So
Not too much I said, but we'll go with
yeah,
the flow.
we'll go with the flow on this one. This has been your boy Giavite14
And the third guy.
and our buddy Cam talking about E3, and we are out.
Hello.